This is the Progressive Game Countdown. Welcome to Iowa City in Kinnick Stadium for this Big Ten rivalry that's become a Black Friday tradition as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Inside Kinnick Stadium, Hawkeyes ranked 24th in the country. Nebraska, just one victory, looking for their second. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer, and happy Thanksgiving. This is my partner, Robert Smith and Smitty. 10th straight year these two programs have met each other on Black Friday and seemingly going in opposite directions. You know, Iowa started the season, they dropped the first two, but since then have won 3 straight. Nebraska just can't get right, and once again looking for consistency out of the quarterback position, and they're going with another quarterback. Adrian Martinez gets his job back.
Yeah, where they're making that change. And you go back a few weeks against Northwestern. Last 2 series of the game, Luke McCaffrey was inserted. The offense seemed to pick up some steam. Then Luke McCaffrey got the start against Penn State. We called that game. We called the game against Illinois a week ago. And what you saw in that game, Luke McCaffrey, he's been able to run the football, but he hasn't been able to throw it effectively. Adrian Martinez was inserted to the game last week against Illinois, going to get the start today, and I think that's the reason that they made the change. They need to throw the ball to win today.
Well, there's Scott Frost in his 3rd season as head coach of his alma mater, 10-18 as Nebraska's head coach. He is 0-2 against Iowa, looking for his first victory against the Hawkeyes. Meanwhile, Kirk Ferentz, now in his 22nd season as head coach. He is the longest tenured head coach in the FBS. And listen, this man now has 100 Big Ten victories as Iowa's head coach. That's the 4th most of any coach in the Big Ten Conference history. Iowa won the toss, and they have elected to receive. And back deep, one of the most dangerous return men in the Big Ten, Amir Smith-Marset.
You see a lot of teams defer because they want their defense on the field first. I think Iowa, because of the physical style of play. You know, the theme this year, because there haven't been as many fans in the stand, bring your own juice. They want the offense out there to be physical to start this game off.
This is Ivory Kelly Martin, and he brings it across the 30. The 51st meeting between Iowa and Nebraska, and the Hawkeyes have won the last 5. And here comes the sophomore Spencer Petras, completing 55% of his passes. He's accounted for a touchdown in every game this season, and it's a rarity in college football. But hey, Iowa, the quarterback takes a snap from under center, and Petras back to pass to the outside, and that was complete to Brandon Smith.
Yeah, and you're going to see some things that you don't see out of a lot of offenses around the country. You started off there with a 2 tight end set. You talk about them taking the ball from under center. They're also going to have a true fullback walk on Monty Potabom. This guy is really physical. Good old-fashioned I-formation football. We'll see that a lot today.
Good see. The lone back. That was a pickup of 4. So you're looking at about 2nd and 6, and Petras back to pass again, and down the seam, one-handed catch by Sean Bayer. What a catch! Bayer, the senior tight end.
You're going to see Bayer just go right up the seam on this one. Bayer, the physical, look at this, just gets the hand up and pulls that thing down. The one-handed full extension grab. This guy is an athlete. They said that he's really coming into his own. Had a hurdling run against Penn State a week ago. You can see that athleticism on display right there.
22-yard pickup. That one to the outside to Amir Smith-Marset. Marset down the sideline. And there was a late hit, and there comes the flag. I mean, they hit him well out of bounds.
I think a little bit of frustration right there. You know, this Nebraska defense, they got their black shirts after the Penn State game, but they did give up 500 yards in that game. And then against the Illini a week ago.
Personal foul defense, late hit out of bounds, number 28. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's on Luke Reimer. So now he's out, and here comes Reimer with the late hit.
Yeah, and again, a little bit of the frustration. You know, a week ago against Illinois, 2 100-yard rushers in that game. And this Nebraska defense wants to come out and be physical. As you can see, Iowa really coming out with some great momentum, moving the ball seemingly at will. Reimer just a little bit impatient.
14-yard pickup plus the penalty. And that goes nowhere as Goodson gets smothered. Ben Stealing was the first to bring him down. That's a 2-yard loss. Good look at the Iowa starting lineup. Alaric Jackson is their left tackle, and he's without question the best offensive lineman there.
Yeah, Brandon Smith, great wide out. Even when he's covered, they say he's not covered. He's one of those guys that does a nice job going up, fighting for balls.
2 tight ends set here for Iowa. Here inside the red zone. They have had 18 touchdowns and 25 red zone trips so far this season. So usually when they get in the red zone, they score. That's a 72% scoring percentage for the Hawkeyes when they get inside the red zone.
Brian Ferentz, the offensive coordinator, talked about their philosophy coming into this game today. When they got into the red zone, they were going to want to run the football. But the Nebraska defense done a pretty good job here getting them into a 3rd and long situation.
Got an injured player. Looks like it's Luke Reimer.
Yeah, Reimer, a former walk-on, tremendous player, and they can ill afford to get thinner at that linebacker spot. Colin Miller, we saw the scary play a week ago against Illinois. He's not going to be playing today, maybe not even for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's why Reimer is in there. He had 10 tackles. Reimer did. As we look at that Nebraska defense, and it is really, for these guys, up front. How are they going to perform up front against this Iowa offensive line? And listen, even their defensive coordinator, Eric Chenander, told us our secondary is going to have to come up, stick their nose in, and make some tackles here.
Yeah, he's familiar with this rivalry. Eric Chenander was a walk-on here at Iowa, and he wants that defensive line playing in a more coordinated fashion.
Petrus on 3rd down, looking, and that one knocked away. Good defensive play. JoJo Doman.
Boy, Doman, he's that Swiss Army knife of that Nebraska defense. You're going to see him. They're going to line him up out in the slot. You're going to see a little bit of a pivot route. They're going to move to the outside, come back in. Doman does a nice job staying with it the entire time, covering up Reganey.
So here's Keith Duncan for the field goal from 32 yards out. And it's pure. So the Hawkeyes strike first with the field goal. 3-0 our score. We're in the first quarter here in Iowa City. Fox College Football is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. 3-0 is our score here as the Hawkeyes go 7 plays, 54 yards. Duncan with the 32-yard field goal.
Yeah, they came out on fire. You know, you get those first 15 plays scripted based on what you've seen from opposing defenses, and they were able to hit a few of those. But if you're Nebraska, you got to feel pretty good about the way that you tightened up in the red zone and only gave up 3.
Caleb Shudak kicking things away. And so here comes the Nebraska offense. So here comes Adrian Martinez. He will get his starting job back after losing it the past couple of weeks to the freshman Luke McCaffrey. And Martinez, Nebraska's leading passer, and really their all-time leader in total offense as well. And he's going to swing this one out to Wan'Dale Robinson. Robinson, first down and more for Nebraska.
Boy, and Wan'Dale Robinson, he's such an explosive player. Not the biggest back in the world, and because of some injuries, because they're a little bit young at the running back position, they've lined him up in the backfield quite a bit this year, but you'll see him start in the backfield, then split out. He's a matchup nightmare, and I think that they feel that they can get some things done with him on the edges.
Martinez again, and he's going to take off. That's a 5-yard pickup for the junior out of Fresno. And for Martinez, he really only needs 78 more yards, rushing yards to pass Scott Frost, his head coach's all-time rushing yards by Cornhusker quarterback, and he's sacked. Davion Nixon comes blowing through there to make the play.
They're going to try and get the ball to Wan'Dale Robinson. Little bump pass here. Trying to get him to that edge. But it was Davion Nixon who had the big touchdown run against Penn State a week ago. We know about his athleticism. Great penetration on that play right there, forcing Wan'Dale Robinson to try and cut that back.
7th sack of the season for Iowa. They're second in the Big Ten. Bad snap, and Martinez goes down. Another sack. Seth Benson. And keep in mind,
it's been a problem.
Nebraska's had problems with Cameron Jurgens and the snaps. He was replaced in the second half last week. Matt Farniak had to replace him at center, and it has been something that has plagued the Nebraska offense all season long.
You just can't afford wasted plays like that, and that's been the story for this Nebraska team this year. Untimely penalties, untimely turnovers. You can see right there the bad snap.
Here's Charlie Jones. Tripped up, stays on his feet, and finally brought down at the 45-yard line. When we come back, Petrus, a Hawkeye offense. Well, Fox College Football is sponsored by AT&T. 5G, fast, reliable, and secure. And by Progressive Insurance, you can save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Look at Hayden Fry. You know, the past 40 years here in Iowa, they've only had 2 head coaches, Hayden Fry and Kirk Ferentz.
Kind of like their color sake in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers just having 3 coaches over that time period.
Well, I mentioned this earlier. You know, Kirk Ferentz now has 100 Big Ten wins as Iowa's head coach, 4th most of any coach in Big Ten history. Joins that illustrious group. Pitch first down. And Petrus over the seam. That one in and out of the hands of Tyron Tracy. That's a good stick by Markel Dismute.
See, they came out in the I formation right there. Not a bad throw from Petrus, just a little bit behind Tracy right there, but he's got to get his hands out in front of that. Pull that one in cleanly. Tried to catch that with the arms and the body. Wasn't able to bring it in.
Goodson. And hit behind the line of scrimmage. Markel Dismuke again. Third down coming. Loss of 1.
Yeah, Petrus going to have an opportunity here. Try and make a little correction. Get a little bit better with that throw. Get it right on your guy. You can see they're going to go with the empty set here.
Laporta in the slot at the top. Petrus over a crossing route. It's Goodson. And he's inside Cornhusker territory across the 50.
But Tyler Goodson, such an explosive player. We saw him last year as a true freshman. They have him split all the way to the outside. Against that zone coverage, they just drop him on the little shallow cross right there. Dump it off to a guy like that. Throw short, run long is the philosophy. With a guy with his type of explosion and his moves, got a vicious little spin on him too. He can make people miss.
There's Goodson, the lone setback. He's got the rock now. spin. You talked about the spin. You just saw it.
Yeah, he spun away from Ben Stilley on that one. They do a nice job. They cut off on the backside. You spin into that contact. He does such a nice job of getting his head around. You have to be careful when you're in those spins like that. Really protect the football and be ready for contact as soon as you come out of the spin. He does it so quick. Does a really nice job. Tremendous player.
This is 2nd and 8. Goodson tripped up. Got back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So now 3rd down coming. Coming into this game, Nebraska has been allowing its opponents to convert 54% of their 3rd downs.
And of course, a lot of those 3rd downs have been 3rd and of the shorter variety. Obviously, much harder to defend when you're in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, whereas here you have an obvious passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 8. Petrus under pressure throws. His receiver fell. That's incomplete. Tyron Tracy is who he is looking at.
Yeah, Tracy just got a little tripped up there. Petrus did a nice job trying to get that one to him. There are a couple Nebraska defenders there. Nebraska's had their problems up front in the front 7. They've really done a nice job for the most part this year on that back end with that defense.
This would have been, if they were going for a field goal, would have been 54 yards. Duncan's career long is 49. So Tory Taylor is in to punt things away. And they down it right at the 2-yard line.
It's that Aussie.
So the Cornhuskers backed up inside the 5 when we come back. 3-0 our score. Good look at Tory Taylor there, the freshman punter from Australia. Yeah, look, first time he punted in a football game, first time he'd ever played football, Rob.
Well, American football. Now, the Australian rules version, they are great at directional kicking, and you could see right there, distance control as well. So important on those kicks to get them inside the 20.
So 1st down and 10 from their own 2. Marvin Scott gets it and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Davion Nixon right there to make the stop.
He brought a little blitz, safety blitz. Dane Belton brought off of the edge there, trying to create some negative plays, put some stress on this Nebraska offense.
Martinez to the outside. Oliver Martin, welcome back. And he is hit. Martin, he transferred to Iowa. He started his career in Michigan, then transferred to Iowa, and now has walked on at Nebraska.
That just became eligible a couple of weeks ago. They didn't know if he was going to be eligible, and played right here in Iowa City at West Iowa City High School.
3rd and 3, 7-yard pickup. Martinez. He'll take off. He's got the 1st down. Martinez brought down at the 27-yard line.
And that is what makes Adrian Martinez so dangerous. Everything breaks down. See, Chauncey Golson had a chance. Had him back there. Nice job negotiating his way downfield.
Marvin Scott gets the carry. Nixon again brings him down after that 18-yard pickup by Martinez. It's about a 3-yard loss. Second and 13. Hawkeyes show pressure. Martinez, plenty of time. And he'll take off again. That's an 8-yard pickup by Adrian Martinez.
Martinez there had an opportunity to drop that ball off, and you know, Oliver Martin had come wide open on that one, and people forget how good Adrian Martinez was a couple years ago. One of 2 true freshmen ever at the QB position to average throwing 200 and rushing 50 per game.
That one is complete. Wandale Robinson made the caught catch and took a lift from Dane Belton.
Talk about Wandale Robinson, what a tough kid he is. Does a great job hanging on to this one. Belton even got his head onto that football. Robinson still able to hang on to that one.
Will Christoph will punt things away. Charlie Jones standing at his own 20. Here's Jones to the 30. He's dangerous. Cuts back across midfield. And he puts the Hawkeyes in some great field position. Joined the program in 2019. He transferred in from the University of Buffalo. But he was the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago. And has the Hawkeyes in business. Fox College Football is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. Playbook and home loans, Rocket can. 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. 3-0 is our score. Nebraska has been wanting to keep this one close. You know, Iowa's just been dominating teams in the first half. They've outscored their opponents 110 to 35 so far on the season. And this one to Brandon Smith down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. Caprio Budo pushed him out.
Petrus does a nice job getting this ball quickly to Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith able to catch that one, turn upfield. You can see that quickness, that first step quickness that he has. He's the kind of guy that can take one of those short catches, turn it into 6 real quick.
12-yard pickup. Sargent, pot a bomb in the backfield. Petrus keeping it. Ooh, takes a hit. Deontay Williams brings him down.
It was the coverage by JoJo Doman right there. You get a little bit of that boot action. Doman on the back side of this does a nice job. You can see Brandon Smith covered up downfield. So he wanted to go to Tracy, but Doman had him covered up underneath.
2 tight ends. Petrus play fake. That's complete. Oh, legs get upended by a miss. Smith-Marset. 14-yard pickup the hard way.
Nice quick release again from Petrus, and Smith-Marset gets upended. See, got up real quick. Got the little flip. Great job absorbing the hit, getting up, getting the first down. Chris Carter used to say it, going across the middle, it makes the great ones average and the average ones pathetic. You can see Smith-Marset right there. He wasn't scared.
Sure wasn't. Here's Sargent. He spins. And brought down at the 10. Deontay Williams makes the stop, but a 7-yard pickup for Sargent.
This running back duo for Iowa been so dangerous all year long, and last week against Penn State, actually, Kai Sargent went over 100, led the team in rushing, and he's known as more of the power back. But a nice spin there to evade the tackle, get upfield, nice 7-yard gain on first down.
They go empty set here. Petrus looking. And that's complete. Laporta makes the catch. Laporta leads the Hawkeyes in catches. That's a 4-yard pickup, but has yet to score a touchdown.
Yeah, came close, had one called back. against Penn State got overturned on review, and Laporta did an excellent job on that last one, driving to the first down distance before his break to the outside, so that when he caught that one and got tackled, still had the first down.
Play fake, wide open, touchdown! Tyron Tracy makes the touchdown catch, and the Hawkeyes up 9-0 right now. First touchdown catch of the season for Tracy.
Tracy just got lost in that zone coverage. The defenders couldn't pick him up crossing the field. We're going to take a look at the replay here in a minute.
6 plays, 46 yards. Set up by that, of course, that punt return, but it's Tyron Tracy.
You can see Tracy came in motion there, and the defenders just didn't pick him up coming across. Just got lost on that one. Sometimes that can happen when receivers move from one side of the formation to the other. It changes the number count on the front side of the formation that the defensive backs are using to identify who their primary responsibilities are, but they lost him on that one.
Well, our season refresh, it's sponsored by Coors Light. And, you know, the interesting thing about this Hawkeye football team, even at 3-2, and although they have 2 losses, they have the best point differential in the Big Ten out of everyone.
Yeah, and that big win over Michigan State certainly helped that one, 49-7.
Right. Caleb Shudak.
I'm sure they're not as worried about point differential as they are about wins and losses.
You're right about that. Hey, don't forget that Fox Bet Super 6 is giving away over $3 million. And now you can win cash prizes by playing the Fox Bet Super 6 PBC boxing contest on Saturday, December 5th. Download the Fox Bet Super 6 app for free and order the big fight on foxsports.com/pay-per-view. And I'll tell you what, man, that's going to be one heck of a fight, too, between Errol Spence and Danny Garcia.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, because Cole says boxing.
Yeah, man. How about this new quarterback? Luke McCaffrey, the freshman, is back in. And McCaffrey, complete, Vokalek. So McCaffrey was the starter for the past couple of weeks. Got pulled last week from Martinez. Martinez gets the start, and McCaffrey now in. And gives this one to Marvin Scott. As they go with tempo with McCaffrey, Nick Neiman makes the stop.
Remember, offensive coordinator Matt Lubick told us with the decision to go to Luke McCaffrey a couple of weeks ago in Penn State, it was the ability to go tempo that really made the difference for them.
And he keeps it. And McCaffrey's got speed. Bumped out of bounds at the 36. Davon Merriweather makes the hit.
Defensive coordinator Phil Parker talked about the way he was going to be playing more zone defense, getting more eyes on the quarterback. But with a guy like Luke McCaffrey, even if you know he's running, he's so fast, he changes the angles you need to take.
That went over the head of Levi Falk. And if there's anything that they want McCaffrey to work on, it's the accuracy and the touch.
Yeah, clearly these guys, both of these quarterbacks have had problems with their accuracy on the season, but I think another thing is really just pulling the trigger, making the decision, believing what you see, and getting the ball out of your hands.
Here's Scott, breaks the tackle, and brought down at the 27-yard line. That's going to be the last play of the quarter. 2 red zone trips for the Hawkeyes. They come away with a touchdown. And we go to the second quarter. When we come back, 10-0 our score here in Iowa City. Well, it's one of the classiest traditions in college football. Started 3 years ago. Players, coaches from both teams and fans here inside Kinnick Stadium. They exchange waves there with the families at the Steed Family Children's Hospital. Here's Scott. Maybe a yard.
A little bit of confusion there from the Nebraska offense. They started off with the formation into the boundary, move those guys over, try and go with Scott up the middle right there. But this is one of the best defensive lines in the country. These guys are extremely stout up front.
4th and 1. McCaffrey. He'll keep it. McCaffrey's got the first down. Jack Kerner made the stop.
Nice play design right there. You can see Luke McCaffrey taking off.
Jake Stoll with a good block too.
Using his little convoy.
That's the offensive coordinator, Matt Lubin. Scott again.
Yeah, wrapped up by Golston. They're going to keep trying to balance out this offense, trying to get more of those conventional runs.
Cornhuskers have scored just 7 TDs on 17 red zone possessions so far this season. Here's McCaffrey. That one in the flat to Scott. Nick Neiman with the stop, 3-yard pickup. 3rd down coming for Nebraska.
We've got to be careful on this one, as we've seen this season with Luke McCaffrey, 4 turnovers in the game a week ago. Have to be careful not to turn the ball over, not to give up a sack.
Scott driven back. Neiman again, the first to meet him. No gain.
Of course, Neiman, football family. His brother Ben in the NFL plays for the Chiefs, and his father, defensive line coach here at Iowa.
He's their leading tackler, Robert. 2nd in the Big Ten in tackles as well. Here's Connor Culp.
Great instincts and knows how to finish plays.
From 31. And it's good. Cornhuskers on the board. Game is 7. 10-3 our score here in the 2nd quarter. Fox College Football is sponsored by Discover. We treat you like you treat you. That's what these guys are playing for, the Hero Trophy, something they established in 2011. Iowa leads the series 6-3. Basically, they recognize a hero from both communities, so someone from Nebraska, someone from Iowa be recognized as a hero as they battle for that trophy. As Nebraska went 11 plays, 73 yards. Good drive by the freshman Luke McCaffrey. Connor Culp kicking things away. Amir Smith-Marset. It's a short one. Hawkeyes jump on it at the 30.
You got 2 reasons that you want to go for those pooch-type kicks right there. You want one of those up men to try and have to field the ball. You don't want it going deep to some of those dangerous returners. You get guys that aren't used to catching the ball. You see, don't get a fair catch signal. Muffed that one, but was able to fall on top of it.
You can see what the sophomore Spencer Petras has done so far. 8 of 11 for 95 yards and a touchdown. He's also spread the wealth. 6 different receivers have touched the rock.
And here they go with that traditional I formation with Potabom, the fullback.
Yep, from the I, it's Goodson, and he's got it. Ooh, wow! He ran into a field of Cornhuskers. Damian Daniels, the first to meet him.
When they get that penetration, now you're going to use the fullback to try and lead block, but never even had an opportunity to get there. Damian Daniels, nice job. He's got some size, shall we say, one of those space eaters that you use as a traditional nose guard. Does a nice job fighting off the block, getting into the backfield with that penetration, able to make the play.
Goodson so far has carried it 6 times, no yards. Too far for Nico Reganey. Hey, look, that's Colin Miller, and last week suffered a spinal concussion. You know, he laid on the field for a while with no movement. The great thing that his mother was there at the game. She's a nurse. He was taken to the hospital, spent the night in the hospital. But you know what? The next day was right back at the facility. Petrus, plenty of time. Throws and picked off. DiCaprio Boodle makes the pick.
You can't afford to do this as a quarterback. He panics, had some space, could have slid up into the pocket, and he compounded the error by making a bad throw, bad decision there by Spencer Petrus.
And I'm sure that's exactly what Brian Ferentz is telling him. 5th pick of the season for Petrus. Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance, and by Verizon, the network more people rely on, it gives you more. McCaffrey swings that one out. Ramir Johnson. 5-yard pickup for the Cornhuskers.
Ramir Johnson, one of those young running backs that they're trying to work into this rotation. This Nebraska set of skilled players, so young, freshmen, redshirt freshmen all over the place. Nice, simple, extended handoff right there.
How about this? Reverse Alante Brown. Brown. It steps out of bounds, but not before a nice pickup for the Cornhuskers. Look at the misdirection here.
Get that front side option action, pitch it back to Brown, and he just turns on the Jets. They feel that they have the opportunity to get on the edges against this Iowa defense. Feel that they have a speed advantage with these young players.
18-yard pickup, and why Scott Frost is so encouraged, because these guys are so young, but he says, hey, look, they'll be really good in a few years. Jack Campbell makes the stop there. He throws down Ramir Johnson behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Campbell recognizes this one right away, pulls the trigger, does a nice job, wrap it up.
4-yard loss. McCaffrey keeping it. Jack Heflin first to meet him, 2-yard pickup.
And Heflin does a nice job on this one, keeps his vision on McCaffrey the entire time. And when he sees McCaffrey takes off, fights off the block at the perfect time, he's able to make the play.
3rd and 11 from the 20. Nebraska 1 of 5 so far on 3rd down. McCaffrey looking, throws, almost intercepted. Matt Hankins, their best cover corner for Iowa, came up. The senior out of Louisville, a suburb of Dallas, makes a good play.
Well, it's not just the decisions that you make, it's the execution on the throw, and this is such a dangerous throw to the inside. Really the cardinal sin from a quarterback on an out-breaking route to throw it back to the inside. You see McCaffrey wasn't able to get that one out in front of his receiver, almost gets that one picked off.
Connor Colt from 39. And the lead is now 4 for the Hawkeyes. So Nebraska chipping away, but Iowa up 10-6 here in the second quarter. Fox College Football is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. 10-6, our score. In case you're keeping track, and I know they are in Lincoln. Luke McCaffrey, 2 drives, 2 field goals. Martinez, 2 drives, 2 punts. Hey, here's the voice of the WWE, Michael Cole.
From the WWE Thunderdome, what will be the fallout from Survivor Series? Will Universal Champion Roman Reigns continue his dominance? It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
40 degrees here in Iowa City. Wind moving about 7 to 13 miles per hour from the northwest. Here's Peters rolling out, dumping that one off to Laporta, the tight end. He's brought down at the 39. Will Honus makes the tackle. 8-yard pickup for the Hawkeyes.
And Peters does a nice job getting this one in front of Laporta. Accuracy is so important on short throws like that. Give your receiver an opportunity to run after catch. He has to slow down for a catch like that. Sometimes you can get tackled right away. Got it in front of him, let him gain a few extra yards.
Goodson, Reimer makes the stop, brought him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 3rd and 1.
Win the known.
And the entire Nebraska coaching staff talked about how it was a different level of intensity that they saw from this team this week, and they knew that they needed that against a physical team like Iowa.
Peters keeps it, gets a push from his back.
I don't know about that one. This is the old left foot, right foot spot. And that's a great example right there. This is, oh, they gave it to him. It still looks short compared to where they have the marker on the sideline, but we're going to take another look at this thing.
Yeah, that was the D lineman of Nebraska you heard. They're saying it's short. What else are they going to say, though?
Yeah, the defense is always going to say that.
Goodson's the lone setback. He's got it. Off that right side. Ooh. Luke Reimer made the stop, but Goodson would have had a lot more. That's a 12-yard pickup.
We talk about the explosiveness of this young running back. You see the vision getting to the outside. Reimer able to wrap him up. This is a guy that can turn any carry into 6. And offensive line does such a nice job getting him to that second level. It's a running back's job there to take it the rest of the way.
Goodson again. And tripped up by Reimer. 2-yard loss.
When you've got a guy like Tyler Goodson with that kind of speed, you want to get penetration into the backfield, force him to stop his feet. When you do that, even if Goodson doesn't go down right away right there, you get some other tacklers an opportunity to rally to the ball.
Peters, throw, caught. Smith-Marset, fumbled, but out of bounds.
Peters good on the placement on this one. You see Smith-Marset. Woo! That thing just got locked out, and that was Doman coming up and punching that thing out. It goes back to the spot of the fumble, excuse me. Can't gain yards on the fumble.
Right. Wherever you was down, that's where they're going to spot.
That thing was actually a little further to the inside than I thought right there. Peters has to be careful on that one. Again, on those out-breaking routes, you really need to get the ball in a place where only your receiver can get it. Smith-Marset able to haul that one in.
So a 16-yard pickup. This is Sargent. Hello. That's Will Honus introducing himself.
And you're going to see Will Honus just rally to this ball coming from the backside. Now, when you've got that fullback leading up. Out of that I formation, a lot of times the front side linebacker gets eaten up by that block. So important for the backside linebacker and for the safeties to insert themselves, and that's exactly what you saw right there from Will Honus.
Sargent, ball carrier again, flag. I tell you what, Nebraska's starting to get stout up front.
And again, we talk about what happened a week ago against Illinois. And it's never just one thing. Sometimes it's people overrunning a gap.
Personal foul, clipping, offense, number 73. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
You can call that one on Cody Entz, a sophomore out of Wisconsin.
You see him right here.
Went down low right there.
That's a really dangerous back right there. When you go down below the waist, defender can't see the block coming.
So now the back, the Hawkeyes up. From the 44. Goodson bounces it outside. Reimer makes the stop.
This is what makes a back like Tyler Goodson so dangerous. Sees the flat backs and is able to get the jump cut to the outside and get back up to full speed so quickly. Makes it tough for defenders to rally and make a tackle.
That's an 11-yard pickup. 3rd and 10 coming for Iowa. Hawkeyes 2 of 5 so far on 3rd down.
Laporta in the slot here.
Petrus hit and a flag. See Deontay Williams.
And it was Deontay Williams in coverage on Sam Laporta.
I think that little grab.
They say you guys are doing
interference. It's defense number 8. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Deontay Williams says you guys are going to do your little quote-unquote rub pick play. Well, I'm going to get a little hand on Laporta here and see if I can get away with it. Refs picked that one up, though, and it's a good call.
So now 1st and 10 from the Nebraska 22. Petrus rolls, throws, he's got a man. Oh! In and out of the hands of Nico Reganey.
Intended for Nico Reganey.
When Reganey was isolated here. Started working to the post, worked back out to the corner. That's just outside of the reach of Reganey.
10th play of this drive coming for Iowa.
You don't get a lot of opportunities like that in games. You want to take advantage of them every time.
They give it to Goodson. Tanner Dismute there.
And here you go again. Try the inside zone there, end up in a 3rd and 8 situation in the red zone.
Let's go! Let's go!
That's defensive coordinator Eric Chenander of Nebraska. Petrus pumps, steps up. Brought down inside the 15. Garrett Nelson makes a stop, 5-yard pickup. And they're going to bring out the field goal unit. They brought him back. We'll see. Told him to come back. And Petrus is obviously talked him into it. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
We've got 4th and 3. We've got Pottebaum your fullback in there. This is the kind of down and distance you may go play action.
Yeah, they're going to call timeout here and talk about it. Keith Duncan, the field goal kicker, had made a couple of steps out. Then they brought him back.
Charge
now
timeout.
Kirk Ferentz and the Hawkeyes are going to talk about it. 10-6 our score. Well, tomorrow, Texas Tech takes on 23rd ranked Oklahoma State at noon Eastern here on Fox. And over on FS1, you got Justin Field and 4th ranked Buckeyes. They take on Illinois. Both games tomorrow at noon Eastern on Fox FS1 and streaming live on that Fox Sports app. Here's Keith Duncan from 32. And the Hawkeyes go up by 7.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a shaky hold here. Was able to handle that okay.
Yeah.
There might have been a little bit to the inside and end up kicking the field goal there.
All right, let's check in with our guy, Stoner, see what's coming up on that State Farm halftime show.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, an Iowa State win in Austin gets them to the Big 12 title game. Liberty looks to work their way back inside the top 25, and where number 4 Ohio State must be better tomorrow. Brian, Robert, we'll see you guys at the half.
All right, Stoney, thank you very much. Keep in mind, Iowa won the toss, so that means Nebraska will receive to begin the second half. Down 7 here with 3:48 until the half.
And of course, Iowa ends up going for the field goal there. You go back to that first down opportunity where Nico Reganey wide open at the back of the end zone. Those wasted opportunities so many times can come back to haunt you.
Touchback there. Well, you take a look at what the two quarterbacks have done thus far. Martinez and McCaffrey. And I said it earlier. Martinez, 2 punts. McCaffrey, 2 field goals. And now here comes Adrian Martinez.
Boy, just so tough on quarterbacks. Psychology of a situation where sometimes you're trying to force things, sometimes you don't want a mistake, but it's very difficult to relax when you're looking over your shoulder.
Oh, low snap! It's loose, and it looks like Martinez may have gotten it back. So that's been the issue.
And this is Cam Jurgens again. It looked like Martinez wasn't even ready for that snap, and it comes in low. Those kind of errors like that, so detrimental to an offense.
You know, Jurgens has had turf toe. That's been the issue with him. And as Nebraska has told us, it's been the reason for some of those bad snaps. Matt Farniok has replaced him in the past at center. 2 seconds on the play clock, and Scott Frost is going to call timeout.
Yeah, I don't know how many opportunities, how many times
first.
you have bad plays like that, and you don't make the change. I mean, those kind of things can just kill your offense, kill a drive. You're just stealing points from your team and opportunities when you have those bad snaps. And it could have been a turnover there.
I think, you know, the one interesting thing that this brings us, because there is no crowd and our mics pick up so much, I thought it was interesting when they went over there. The first thing you saw one of the coaches, they looked at Jurgens and said, "Are you good?" Again, he's been dealing with turf toe, and they said that's been causing some of the bad snaps.
I don't know the mechanics of turf toe and how it causes bad snaps. I'll defer to the coaches on that, but I keep seeing snaps like that. I'm thinking about making a change.
Wandale Robinson back at running back, and now has it. He's got a couple of blocks down the sideline. midfield by Kayvon Merriweather. 27-yard pickup for the Cornhuskers.
Talk about what a playmaker Wan'Dale Robinson is for this offense. Little swing pass there. Some nice blocks downfield. You can see Austin Allen in front of him. Little help from Jack Stoll. But it's that explosiveness that you get from Wan'Dale Robinson. Just a little swing pass like that, and you get a huge gain.
Ramir Johnson alongside Martinez. Martinez, plenty of time. And was thrown out of bounds in the area of Xavier Betts.
You got Martinez trying to go a little back shoulder there to Betts. But again, what we've seen from both of these quarterbacks this season, problems with accuracy. Even when the right decision's made and the trigger gets pulled in time, they haven't been on target with the throws.
Play action. Martinez is going to keep it. Benson makes the stop. 3-yard pickup. Third down coming for Nebraska.
And of course, you end up 3rd and 7+, and the percentages are so much lower converting these.
Martinez throwing over the middle. He's got a man. Robinson. And it's caught. Brought down at the 26.
Absolute dart from Adrian Martinez on that one. And see Robinson breaking across the middle here. No problems with accuracy right there. They love seeing that decisiveness, but more importantly, sticking that ball right on Robinson just a little bit in front of him, even giving him an opportunity for a little run after catch.
Nice chunk play of 22 yards. And another bad snap over the head of Martinez. Flag down. Oh, man, when it rains, it pours. And as you take it, look at the look of dismay on the face of that young man, because it seems like every time he's in at quarterback, it's a bad snap.
Boy, it's just hard to believe. And again, I don't know why you don't just make the change. There's just too much danger.
Holding.
And you get a hold.
Offense number 54. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
And he's getting pulled now.
And again, every one of these opportunities is so important.
Loss at 19, Robert.
Every yard, every opportunity, every drive, you never know which one is going to be the difference in a ball game. And you have some bad snaps like that. Again, it's not just a wasted play. Could be a turnover, could take you out of field goal range. I don't know why you don't make that change earlier.
It's Barniak. And Martinez keeps it. Hankins knocks him out of bounds. 7-yard pickup. 3rd down coming for Nebraska.
You've got the 2 timeouts here. It is 3rd down. You've got a huge chunk. You're not going to try and get all of this. You want to just get some of this. Maybe go for it on 4th down. Maybe get in the field goal range here.
Robinson in the slot. He looks his way. Martinez throws. Was he inbound? Austin Allen inbound. And they say it is a catch.
Well, that's the value of having a 6'8" tight end. I'm not sure if he's able to get that foot down. It looks like the ball is caught there and just trying to see if that toe taps. And I don't see it go down, but you can't tell that it's not. It sure looks like there was a little shadow there between the foot and the ground. I don't know if that foot ever comes down. They're going to take a look at this one.
Mike Pereira calling Mike
Rolling on the
Pereira.
field was a completed catch. Plays under further review.
Minute left until the half. This is crucial.
We got.
Let's go to the dean of rules.
The king. He's the king.
That's right. He is the king. Mike Pereira. What do you see, Mike? He's 6'8".
I don't know, but you You scared me when you said Dean. I was looking for Blandino. He's not here. He's still eating turkey. Got to look at that. Two things. The left toe. Did the left toe get down? They ruled it did. And then when he hit the ground, did he maintain control? So Tom Fielder's going to be looking at both of those situations. Remember what the call was on the field, that it was a catch. Here's a shot that will give us a little better look at the toe.
Yeah, I don't ever see that left toe come down. It looked like he had to get that left toe off of the ground to make the catch.
Yeah, certainly he did not have control of the ball when his foot was on the ground first. So that's what they're going to be looking at now in the booth here.
So they're going to zoom in on this look.
That one's hard to decide.
Tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really a tough one to tell. Of course, they've got the system that they're using there, and again, the Big Ten does not have the command center.
Here we go. Here's another zoom-in look for you, Mike.
Again, watch the left toe, and then I want you to watch control of the ball, too, when he hits the ground.
Well, you can see the shadow there. It looks like the foot is clearly off the ground at that point. And then it comes down. Does it ever touch?
The ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver made the line to gain.
Wow.
First down at the 16-yard line.
And he did maintain control when he hits the ground. So a lot for Tom Fielder to look at, but again, it was called a catch and called the first down, so no way to change that.
Mike, you got on your Thanksgiving suit? You clean today, Mike.
On yesterday, too.
You clean today, Mike Ferreira.
Always. Thanks, Mike. And of course they say confirm there, so confirming the call of the catch, and that last angle there, you see the toe come back down, and you could previously see the shadow. Must have been the one.
So remember, that was a 3rd and 23 for Nebraska. First down and 10 from the 16, a minute left. Here's Robinson, cuts it back, he's inside the 10, inside the 5. Oh, Nebraska in business now.
Great instincts from Wandale Robinson right there, knowing where the tacklers are coming from, cutting back against the grain. Nice physical run in the red zone.
And they're going to give it to him again. They're going to mark this one inside the 1. Timeout going to be called by the Cornhuskers.
Just pushes himself into that mass of humanity right there.
Second. This will be a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 33 seconds. 33. Thank you.
Yeah, there he is. Short of that goal line.
Oh, no, I don't. You don't have to move down.
Well, that State Farm halftime show, Rob Stone, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart is coming your way in about 33 seconds. And again, this is a series that Iowa has dominated lately. They have won 5 straight, but the last 2 games have been decided by a field goal in the last seconds. Second and goal.
Got some man-to-man matchups on the outside here.
Robinson and Martinez keeps it, goes over the top. Finally, signal touchdown.
Saw Wandale Robinson wasn't able to get it in low. They do get a nice push, though, off of the line of scrimmage. Martinez goes high. Can't see the ball on that shot right there, but clearly looks like ball makes it over, even though he gets turned there. Seth Benson in there, trying to push him back over the top of the pile.
Connor Colt, the extra point, it's good. And we are tied up at 13. Adrian Martinez with his 17th career rushing touchdown. This Big Ten West showdown. The Hawkeyes at 3-2. And Nebraska at 1-3. Don't forget, tune in to the Big Ten Championship game. It is presented by Discover. Comes your way December 19th right here on Fox. So Adrian Martinez leads Nebraska. First touchdown of the day. 11 plays, 75 yards, and 2 bad snaps. That resulted was a negative 23 yards, but they convert on a 3rd and 23.
Just amazing right there, the way that it happens. It's a game of inches, truly.
There's the pooch kick again. This time Laporta makes the catch. So you've got 29 seconds left for Iowa. They still have 2 timeouts.
Not so sure you want to get too risky here, though. You're not going to. This is one where you just hand the ball off, see if you get something. But I don't think you really take a shot here to try and get in the field goal range. Although with that pooch kick, start you off at your 30.
Nebraska will get the ball to begin the second half. Peters down the field. Reganey, that's too low.
Reganey goes down for this one to try and catch it, but as you can see, bounces off of the turf. Of course, the danger in a situation like this, when you drop back to throw, ball gets deflected at the line of scrimmage, tipped up into the air. Nebraska has a timeout. Maybe they get a touchdown or 3 out of it themselves if you get a turnover.
To the outside. That's caught by Brandon Smith. That'll move the chains. Peaches going to call a timeout.
Charge timeout, Iowa, their second. This is a 30-second timeout.
But good throw from Petrus on that one. Gets it to the outside. Allows his receiver to get down quickly. Take one more shot here and try a long field goal. With only 17 seconds left, the likelihood of a turnover, at least downfield on a play like this, drops quite a bit. And you're not worried about Nebraska having an opportunity to get points, even if they do get a turnover.
Keith Duncan's long is 49 for Iowa.
And he's got the wind, and he would have the wind at his back on this kick.
That's up top at midfield to Reganey. Another timeout by the Hawkeyes.
Charge timeout, Iowa, their third and final timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Give me your thoughts on what you've seen here in the first half, especially in light of Nebraska using both quarterbacks.
Please reset the game clock to 10 seconds.
Well, I've been
10 seconds.
I've been impressed. I mean, this is a Nebraska team. This is the 3rd week in a row that we've seen them, in particular on the defensive side of the ball. You look at a matchup like this on paper and the way that Iowa had been running the ball coming into the game, the way that Nebraska played against Illinois a week ago, having 100-yard rushers go against them. You thought that Iowa would be able to come out, establish a run. That hasn't been the case. And of course, Nebraska, even with all the bad snaps and the changes at quarterback, able to make some of the plays. Of course, go back to that play with Iowa on the previous drive. Had an opportunity for Reganey to get 6 out of that one. Only able to get 3.
Petrus under pressure and sack. Casey Rogers gets the sack. A loss of 9. And that is going to end the half. How about the defensive play of Nebraska? So we go to the half, all tied up at 13. Let's send it to Rob Stone, Reggie Bush, and Matt Liner in our Los Angeles studio. To 13 is our score here as we get set to begin the second half here in Iowa City. Brian Custer alongside Robert Smith. And, interesting first half considering, this is a Nebraska squad that had 5 turnovers last week. No turnover so far in the first half, despite a number of bad snaps, Robert.
Yeah, the bad snaps. And what impressed me the most is the way that Adrian Martinez, you think about what's happened over the last couple of weeks, the adversity that he's had to deal with, does not panic on this bad snap right here. That could have turned in a turnover very easily if he panics and tries to do something crazy. Here, they're going to cut a little bit into this deficit created by that bad snap. This is a 3rd and 23. Incredible catch by Austin Allen. Then the physical run by Wandale Robinson to get them down closer. And then Adrian Martinez able to cap that drive off. In and out of the starting lineup for the last couple of weeks kind of embodies what this Nebraska team is all about. You try and stay even. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. And maybe this is just what they needed. We've seen the last couple of their games at home. Maybe they needed a wake-up call. And you could hear the coaching staff talking about how intense they were this week. They came out here today much more focused.
Luke McCaffrey got the start. Well, I should say Adrian Martinez got the start. Luke McCaffrey then spelled him, and then they went right back to Adrian Martinez. He led them to a touchdown, and see who they begin the second half with. We start the second half all tied up at 13. Iowa's a team that has outrushed every opponent they've faced this season. But so far, it's Nebraska who has outrushed the Hawkeyes by 60 yards on the ground. Martinez back.
Think about Nebraska. Last week, 2 100-yard rushers against them. In that first half, running back for Iowa, Tyler Goodson, 9 of his 11 carries went for 2 yards or less.
Here's Wandale Robinson. Getting around that outside. Puts his head down. Yvonne Merriweather makes the stop.
Austin Allen gets a good block in the slot. Felt again that they would have some opportunities to get Wandale Robinson on the edge against this Iowa defense. We've seen that quite a few times today.
9-yard pickup. Martinez, plenty of time. Throws, and that was complete. The Vokalek, the tight end.
And this is exactly what Scott Frost talked about. In operating this offense, use your layoff. Know where your checkdowns are. Don't be too greedy. Now they want both of their quarterbacks to pull the trigger sometimes, try and get those throws off, but work through your progression and hit a check down if you have to.
Here's Ramir Johnson. Cuts back. And he's brought down at midfield, right at the sticks. That's a first down. And by the way, you look at at center, and it looks like Cam Jurgens is back at center, Robert.
Back at center, and we've seen those bad snaps and the problems that it's created, but they felt maybe they got some snaps in at halftime. They feel that they were able to correct whatever problem there was, and we know that the foot had been blamed for some of that. Maybe they've alleviated some of that pain.
Here's Martinez to the flat. Robinson. 4-yard pickup. Keep in mind, in this rivalry, which dates back to 1891, this is the 51st meeting between these two squads. As Martinez throws, that's complete. And that's a first down to Levi Falk. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two have been decided by 1 score. 13-yard pickup.
It's so impressed with Adrian Martinez today, and this is something that Scott Frost talked about happened to him when he was a senior. He got pulled, came back into a game, got booed. Dealing with that adversity, showing that resilience, so important for a quarterback.
Here's Xavier Betts. He's inside the 20.
Yeah, we saw Betts score on that play right there against Penn State. It's that little pop pass that actually goes as passing yards for Adrian Martinez right there. Betts, one of those young, talented wideouts that they find a way to get the ball in a variety of ways.
15-yard pickups. This one, Scott. Ramir Johnson, check that. Right up the middle. The Cornhuskers are knocking on the door.
Ramir Johnson, just a redshirt freshman, not just young at the wideout position, young at the running back position. Some of these running backs getting more time. Dedrick Mills, a normal starter, is still out.
Robinson in motion. Johnson breaks through, dives for the touchdown.
And he broke the plane before that ball came out. Johnson, nice burst up the middle.
First career touchdown for the redshirt freshman out of Jersey.
You can see him extend the ball here towards the goal line. Clearly gets that thing across the plane before the knee or the thigh comes down. And of course the ball doesn't come out until after he hits the ground.
Let's see. Ron Snodgrass. The guys are taking a look at it.
Yeah, they'll take a look at it. I think the only question would be that left thigh. If that knee or any part of that thigh comes down, anything but a hand or a foot comes down, and the player's down.
Yeah, it's good. It should be good. That looks good to me, Rob.
Oh, looks good to me, and I think again, you look at that left knee, and the ball is crossing the plane of the goal line, and once the ball crosses the plane of the goal line, it's a touchdown. It doesn't matter if the ball comes out after that point.
Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, what do you see?
Yeah, it's a clear touchdown. I mean, they'll come out with confirmed on this, and this is kind of one of those plays in replay that, to me, we gave them enough that they could have confirmed it without stopping. Mm-hmm. You know, the games to me are long enough. And I think if you get the shots that you need without having to stop it and take a further look, but the knees
rolling
up,
on the field, stands is called, touchdown.
Yeah. I don't understand how that one was stands and the previous play was confirmed, but it is what it is. That one certainly seemed to be a pretty clear touchdown. I don't know what the point of controversy really could have been on that one, because it didn't look like any part of anything besides a hand or a foot was down on that one, and the ball had already crossed the plane. And again, once it's a touchdown, once that ball has crossed the plane, doesn't matter if it gets knocked out before or after he hits the ground.
Thanks, Mike. So Nebraska's first lead since the Penn State game a couple of weeks ago, and it's the Cornhuskers with a 7-point lead. 20-13 our score here in the third. Well, Fox College Football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Some of the great leaders. Nebraska football, and now it's Scott Frost here in his third season at his alma mater. And listen, he said this wasn't just a reload when he took over this program a couple of years ago. This was a strip down, try to build it back up, and even change the attitude at Nebraska again.
Yeah, no question about it. He had his work cut out for him when he got here.
That one short. Ivory Kelly Martin to the 35. Hey, Built for Success is presented by Rocket Mortgage for the personalized playbook on home loans. Rocket can. And this is why I think Scott Frost said, listen, we're going to have some ups and downs, but he's enthusiastic. He said, because I got some youngsters and they can play, and in a couple of seasons, we're going to be really good.
Yeah, and it's kind of a program that was addition by subtraction. Some players left early, and they feel that players now are getting them where they need to be.
Tyler Goodson spinning. Dismute brings him down.
Boy, JoJo Doman didn't close on the backside there. Rare for him. Had an opportunity to make the tackle for no gain, maybe a yard. And just didn't continue down to make the play.
Two tight ends for Iowa. They go to Goodson again. Across that left side behind Alaric Jackson. That's a first down.
Yeah, Reimer able finally to make the stop on that one. Looks like Ty Robinson's limping off the field a little bit, grabbing that hamstring. And they've got to come out and be physical here. Takes a certain level of intensity, and it takes 60 minutes at least. And considering what happened a week ago, you don't want a repeat of that.
Petrus looking over the middle, and that's low. He had Tyron Tracy.
And Petrus has such a quick release, but he's struggled with his accuracy and really just low on this throw. Doesn't seem to be finishing his motion. It always starts from the ground up. You know, Matt Leinart talked about that in the kinetic chain, whether it's throwing a baseball or throwing a football, starts from the ground up, and got a little bit quick with his feet there. Didn't finish that throw.
Tell you what, you put that one on Tyron Tracy, and he's still running. Goodson is bottled up.
And this is what you want. You're the Nebraska defense. Get that 3rd and 7+ here, 3rd and 8.
So far for Petrus, he's only 4 of 10. His last 10 passes, and that includes a pick.
And they haven't blitzed much today. See if they bring a little pressure here.
Here's Petrus again. Swings that one out. Reganey's open. In Cornhusker territory. Dismute with the stop.
Just a little bit of mix-up in coverage out here. You can see Reganey lined up in the slot, and he starts to the inside, then heads back out. And it looks like Deontay Williams is supposed to be in coverage there. That movement to the inside tricked him.
Goodson again. Caleb Tanner makes the stop. 7-yard pickup.
If you're Iowa offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz, this is what you want. Come out after halftime, get physical. They start getting that run game cranked up. We talked about the way that Nebraska was able to shut down this running game, in particular Tyler Goodson in that first half. Now you get a little bit of I formation.
Goodson jump, cut off To that left side, Reimer trips him up. But it's another first down, and they're methodically moving the chains here.
You have to be willing to be physical to stop I formation football. Not only does it create extra gaps, we talked about this in the first half, you get that lead back, and that normally takes out the first person that's going to get to the football, which is normally a linebacker. So it puts a lot of pressure on your secondary players, whether that's force coming from one of the corners or your safeties coming down to make a play.
Woodson again. Inside the 20. They'll mark it at the 18. Six-yard pickup. Kai Sargent to check in for the Hawkeyes as Goodson to get a blow. Petrus looking to the end zone, incomplete. He's looking at Amir Smith-Marset.
Boy, had Smith-Marset wide open on this one, running up the seam. And that's another one that you're going to want back, just like you saw in that first half. You talk about Petrus again. He just tries to put a little bit too much touch on that one. He sees Garrett Nelson at the linebacker spot. Wants to get it over his head. But way too much touch on that one. Goes too high for Smith-Marset.
3rd and 4. Here's Petrus. Steps up. And he stopped short. A couple of yards short.
And Reimer does a nice job coming out of coverage on that one to make the stop.
Looks like they're going to go for it again.
Well, remember what happened in the first half. They lined up like they were going to go for it.
Called the timeout.
They called the timeout and then ended up kicking it.
Yep.
But I think they want to come out in this second half and set the tone.
Here we go, 4th and 2. From the 16. Empty set for Petrus.
A lot of times you go empty for a quarterback run.
He's looking, throws, and it's complete. Is that Laporta? Makes the catch. Go to your leading receiver.
Yeah, and you can tell Laporta is gimpy as well on this one. Honus is going to be in coverage. And that ball thrown too far to the inside once again from Petrus. Dangerous right there. But Laporta with those great hands, able to extend them back and pull that in and keep it away from Honus.
Beyer in the slot. They go into the set again. He's looking up top. And that's Laporta. Garrett Nelson drives him out of bounds.
Similar to the previous route that Laporta ran to get that first down.
You can see what Hawkeyes have done here in the red zone. And their victories, they score TDs.
We hear that so many times from coaches. You got to win the turnover battle. Got to get some explosive plays. Convert 3rd downs. Be good in the red zone.
Goodson. Third down coming.
Potabom coming in again at fullback. Potabom, the walk-on fullback. You got him lined up in the slot.
Look at the movement. I formation. Sargent cuts back. Touchdown, Iowa.
Great patience on this run by Kai Sargent. And so many times when you have I formation fullback, the fullback leads you to the play. And you can see Potabom, fullback, head to the front side. You see a little bit of penetration from number 93, Damian Daniels, but because Mekhi Sargent is patient, sees the whole backside, stops dead in his tracks, and gets it into the end zone.
The extra point is good. We're all tied up at 20, thanks to Mekhi Sargent, his 7th rushing TD.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads college football in passing touchdowns?
$20 score here in Iowa City. 40 degrees here inside Kinnick Stadium, as the Hawkeyes just went 14 plays, 66 yards, Robert. But more than anything else, you know, Iowa only had 35 yards rushing in the first half. They ran it for 40 yards on that drive and went well over 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, and I think clearly that's a situation you go in at halftime, and Coach Ferentz and his son, Brian Ferentz, the offensive coordinator, they go to that offensive line and say, look, this is who we are. We need to be physical. We need to run the football. Let's come out in the second half. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what they did.
See what we got here.
The ball fell off the tee. We'll re-kick.
On Snodgrass. So we'll tee it up and do it again.
Lefty too, I think.
Never seen a situation where they give him another chance. He's either going to kick it or he's not going to kick it. Ball fell off the tee and he kicked it. Does he have to still count as a kick? You need to go to Mikey rule books on that.
Monte Brown and Brody Belt back deep. This is Brown. Across the 20. We're all tied up at 20. Thanks to Mekhi Sargent, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. He's second in the Big Ten in rushing TDs. .2020, our score above and beyond is brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Beat a sub above. And Adrian Martinez, what he's done today. In case you're wondering, Martinez last 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Nebraska. Martinez a total of 4 drives, 2 TDs, 2 punts. McCaffrey 2 drives, 2 field goals. Martinez has completed his last 6 passes. Make that his last 7. And here's Robinson. Runs into that black and yellow for the 5-yard pickup.
And again, we talked about this in the first half. Wan'Dale Robinson, one of those players, the Swiss Army knife of players, always trying to find a way to get him the ball.
Martinez takes off, but brought down by Davion Nixon.
Davion Nixon, the long interception return touchdown a week ago. You can see him lined up on the inside here. Takes a step to the outside, comes back to the inside, keeps his vision on Adrian Martinez, as I'm sure that they've been taught all week long because of his ability to run the football. But a nice job reacting to Martinez and not letting him escape.
That's a sack. 5th for him. Martinez again under pressure. Dane Belton. Give him a yard pickup. Well, what a defensive stand that time by the Hawkeyes. They came out swarming.
Yeah, and you can see defensive coordinator Phil Parker right there. He brought a blitz from Jack Campbell, really forced the decision of Adrian Martinez there, flushed him out of the pocket. Rush was able to escape the blockers, bring him down.
First 3 and out. Bristow to Charlie Jones. And out of bounds. Just under 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Fox College Football is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. Spencer Petras, the sophomore, done a look through the air and done it with his legs as well, Robert.
Yeah, his 5th career start, 10th career game, and they've talked about the way that he's improved his location, his accuracy, his touch, and we've seen times today where he's done that at better times than others. You can see a touchdown pass right there to Tracy. And he is so quick sometimes with his delivery. You just, again, you think about the mechanics of a quarterback and especially the footwork. He gets a little bit quick there, and I know that that can impact the accuracy. Just gets a little bit wound up sometimes.
He's got Goodson behind him. This is Goodson, cuts back. Give him 4 yards on the carry.
Goodson did a nice job on that one. Seeing the cutback lane. Caleb Tanner set the edge of the defense, made sure Goodson had to cut that one back. But he did a nice job once he did turn back, following his blockers.
Kai Sargent is checked into the backfield. Following Potabom, play fake. That's Byer across midfield. JoJo Doman makes the stop. 10-yard pickup for the Hawkeyes.
You're going to see the boot action here. Get all that front side counter action. Petras does a nice job hitting Byer early on that one. So many times we talk about that. Quarterbacks are late on that throw. Receiver sometimes gets too close to the line of scrimmage. Sometimes the defender's able to collapse on him that time. Get it to him early, allow him to make a play.
Goodson following his fullback.
Knowing where the play is going and being able to stop it are two different things. And oftentimes when you're in I formation football, as you got right there, Monty Potabom, excuse me, with his neck roll and his mullet.
Old school. Old school, bro.
We'll
That's
take
old
you
school.
there. But Goodson made the Honus missing the hole.
Usually if you got a fullback, you know he's blue collar.
Oh, he's blue collar. I mean, are you kidding me? Neck roll and the mullet, business in the front, party in the back. I'm getting it done. Walking on, and breaking some skulls when you're that lead back. That's heavy duty when you're going with the isolation blocks.
He's out in northwest Iowa. Potabom is. Here's Goodson again. Maybe a yard. Reimer is right there to meet him. Under 2 minutes left in the quarter.
We haven't seen any shots off of play action yet. To break into the edge of the red zone here. Could this be that opportunity?
They give it to Marset. And there's nothing. Big red all over that. Crucial third down coming now for the Hawkeyes.
And a good couple of downs by this Nebraska defense. Iowa was starting to have their way, really winning the battle of the trenches, being more physical, getting a lot of push. See a lot more emotion there.
Colin Miller there
on the sideline. Colin Miller, that emotion leader. We talked about a scary moment last week with him being injured. And now they put Iowa in this third and long situation.
They give it to Sargent. And brought down at the 30, maybe a 2-yard pickup. Casey Rogers makes the stop.
That's a surprise play right there if you're not going for it on 4th down, and it's a long field goal.
Well, they'll have at least a break to think about what they're going to do. It'll be a 4th and 5 for the Hawkeyes from the Nebraska 30. 4th quarter coming when we come back. Well, Fox College Football sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. 20-20 the score. We begin the 4th quarter. 4th and 5. This will be from 47 yards out. Career long 49 for Keith Duncan, but he'll have the win at his back. And that is money. That one could have been from 50, and he would still had it.
A great kick there, and of course a great decision. Just bleeding the clock at the end of the 3rd quarter right there, waiting for the opportunity to get the win at the back of your kicker.
Officially 48. And it's a 3-point lead for the Hawkeyes. And look at Shot Frost, he is hot.
Did he move or did he not move? Tell me, did he move?
Sounded like he saw some movement out there.
Did he move or did he not move? You mother.
Now you know you mad when you start talking about somebody's mother. You start talking about somebody's mama, you mad. Let's see what he's talking about.
I don't know what the movement was that he saw. Clearly he was upset about it.
Yeah, it could have been the snap, moving the ball. So touchback. So let's see here. Let's get another look.
And I think up here you're going to see some defenders are going to be upset. And you know, you see the defenders pointing, and we didn't have an angle where we could see an arm maybe twitch.
Well,
couldn't see anything from that angle.
The Hawkeyes defense forced a 3 and out. It was the first one for Nebraska last series. And that's key because the Hawkeyes have held each of their last 19 opponents under 25 points. It's the longest active streak in the FBS. In fact, the last team to score over 25 points against this Hawkeye defense, this Nebraska squad, and that was 2 years ago. This is Robinson. Upended by Riley Moss. 4-yard pickup, but that's a first down.
Martinez really done such a great job throwing the ball today. His legs, as we know, are so dangerous. That Iowa defense did a pretty good job shutting down Nebraska offense the last series. Let's see what Martinez's legs can do.
That's over the middle. Vokalek. Kerner with the stop, but the Cornhuskers in Hawkeye territory. 14-yard pickup, and they're going with a little tempo here.
We know about Austin Allen. Made that great catch in that first half. Travis Vokalek becoming a bigger part at the tight end position.
Martinez fakes it to Wandale Robinson and gets to the outside. Watch the speed of Martinez.
And there's a flag down on this one, and it's in the backfield in the area where we would have a hold, and that's the initial indication here from the referees is that it's against.
Holding. Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Negates a 30-yard pickup. That one on the sophomore Bryce Benhart.
Here's Benhart at the right tackle spot. And he's lined up over Chauncey Golston, and he just gets those arms completely wrapped around him. And it looked like Golston was kind of taking himself out of the play by how far upfield he was going right there. Probably unnecessary to even hold him with the speed of Martinez.
Martinez again, the screen to Robinson. And he is up into good play by Jack Campbell. Open field tackle. Takes the legs out, 2-yard loss.
First thing you think as a defender when you see 3rd and 15 to 20 plus, watch the screen, watch the draw. So you're always aware in a situation like that it's something to be on the lookout for. Jack Campbell sees those linemen trying to set up, reacts, makes a great play.
Martinez again to Robinson. Hankins forces him out of bounds with the hit. 3rd down coming from here now for Nebraska.
Well, this is nothing compared to 3rd and 23. The excellent catch along the sideline by Austin Allen in that first half. You got a 6'8" tight end. Even if you get guys into position, throw that jump ball, but Allen taking himself off the field right now.
Amir Johnson has checked into the backfield. You can see what the Cornhuskers have done here on 3rd down. 3 of 9. 3rd and 17. Martinez looking, throws to the outside. It's caught. Cade Warner makes the catch. Well short of a 1st down.
And they're certainly not making any moves like they're thinking about kicking it right now, but you have to punt right there, and it's an interesting route combination that you go with on 3rd and 17, where an out-breaking route after the catch is generally going to go out of bounds, and you're not going to have the 1st down. Of course, sometimes you're trying to get a position a little bit closer where you can get something even further down towards the goal line to back up your opponent.
Pristup. And they're going to mark that one at the 13.
Timeout on the field.
3-point lead for the Hawkeyes here in the 4th quarter. Fox College Football is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. (20-23). 11 minutes 45 seconds left in this game. And if you look at Iowa, look at what they've done on the ground by quarter. 10 yards, 25, and then 60. You figure this team, since they usually outrush their opponent, this is how you can salt the game away, by ground and pound. Sargent gets the carry. Give him a yard. Ben Stilling met him.
Good job, Stilling, seeing where that backfield action was going that time, sliding down defensive line of scrimmage and inserting himself to make that stop.
Nebraska is still, though, outrushed Iowa by 40 yards thus far. Here's Petrus looking. That one incomplete. Brandon Smith.
Well, we've seen it time and again. I mean, that one's a low throw. Brandon Smith's got to catch that one. A little low, a little behind. But he's a good enough wide receiver to make that catch. Never really got his hands on it.
3rd and 8. Hawkeyes go 5 wide. Petrus steps up. And he'll keep it, and forced out of bounds. Caleb Tanner forces him out, and it's 3 and out for the Hawkeyes.
Boy, the little things just mean so much. Go back all the way back in the first half. Spencer Petras misses an opportunity to hit Nico Reganey at the back of the end zone. They only end up with 3 points on that drive. Could have been 6. Second down opportunity right there for Brandon Smith to haul that one in for a first down. And now you end up having to punt and probably having pretty good field position for Nebraska.
First 3 and out for the Hawkeyes. Here's Cam Taylor-Britt. Dropped the football. A turnover. Oh, what a crucial turnover for Nebraska. Terry Roberts makes the recovery, but Cam Taylor-Britt, the junior, drops it. And the Hawkeyes are now in Nebraska territory.
And Britt just comes up a little bit short on that one. Seemed to be having trouble.
Ball was touched, recovered by the kicking team. Iowa's charged with a sideline warning for interference. First down, Iowa.
Just had a little bit of trouble judging that one. And remember, that's the direction he was facing into the wind. So it's a little bit hard sometimes to judge how far those are going to go. But you're always better assuming that the punt is going to be a little bit short so that you can get out of the way if you have to. If the wind carries it a little bit extra, you can get out of the way.
First turnover for Nebraska. As Goodson gets upended by Deontay Williams. 4-yard pickup, and let's see if this turns out to be the crucial turning point of a game.
Boy, Williams doing a nice job filling on the backside. The run fits for this Nebraska defense were a problem against Illinois last week. They've done a much better job today.
2 tight ends. Goodson running hard.
He's so good in those tight spaces. You can see the way that he just finds that crease. And that time, Williams doesn't wrap. Dismuke is late getting there. It's not enough to get there with a guy like Tyler Goodson. You have to get him down. Deontay Williams did a nice job knocking his legs out the last time, but you can't just try and use a shoulder to knock him down.
Petras, dangerous pass there. JoJo Doman got a hand on it. Whew. Nearly came up with an interception.
Yeah, Doman almost had that one. Porta almost had that one. It's like he never even saw Doman. He just wanted to get that ball to Laporta. Got to come away with some points here on this drive. Careful not to take a sack.
2nd and 10. Play fake. And that one's incomplete and dropped by Brandon Smith. Still a little low, but
yeah, you can see Brandon Smith lined up here on the outside, and
we got to catch that.
And he sees Markel Dismuke coming down from the safety spot on that one. Brandon Smith turned his head. We've seen that so many times. Players trying to catch the ball. You turn your head before the ball gets there. You're going to see that drop so many times.
Set. Petras throwing over the middle to Goodson. Honus brings him down at the 19.
Honus did a good job tracking Tyler Goodson on that one right there. He tried that shallow cross route again. And Honus able to get there as soon as Goodson catches that ball.
Duncan's been good from 32, 33, and 48 today. And he's good again. 6-point lead for the Hawkeyes. 8 minutes to play. College football is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. Playbook on home loans, Rocket can. Frost talking to both of his quarterbacks. You know, McCaffrey, the freshman, has not been on the field since basically 9:22 of the second quarter. Take a look at what both guys have done here today. Martinez certainly has been efficient through the air. The touchdown.
Yeah, and Scott Frost really talked about the way that Adrian Martinez did such a good job handling the benching, but how hard he was working in practice, and they felt both of them would get an opportunity today.
Monte Brown right at the 20. So here comes Luke.
We see both of them out there. Don't forget that early series against Ohio State where you saw them both on the field at the same time.
And it is the freshman, Cool Hand Luke. Led him to a couple of field goals in the first half. Amir Johnson with him. He'll keep it. Is McCaffrey. Jack Campbell comes up, makes the stop. 4-yard pickup here for the Cornhuskers. 8 minutes left on the clock.
And you had to think that Scott Frost felt that there were going to be some opportunities for QB run. Now, Adrian Martinez clearly can run the football, but Luke McCaffrey has got a little bit more explosiveness, accelerates very, very fast.
He keeps it again. Spins out of one tackle. Brought down at the 30. About a yard shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Cornhuskers as they go with tempo. And it looks like the Hawkeyes are going to show some pressure here. Johnson. He got the first down.
Now you see Martinez coming back on the field.
Yep, here comes Adrian Martinez.
Really felt coming in today because of the Iowa defense and the way they play on their front. Nebraska would have to make some plays in the passing game to win this.
Here's Wandale Robinson. Met at the line of scrimmage. He spun back. Right into a whole host of black and yellow. And look what the Hawkeye defense have done. They've stymied the running game of Nebraska here in the second half.
Well, Austin Allen, big tight end, lined up in the slot.
Martinez looking over the middle. Still plenty of time, and he's going to throw that one away. Jack Campbell came firing in and pressuring.
Yeah, and Jack Campbell sitting back in what they call the green dog. You see the protection has declared. See that quarterback sitting back there? Sometimes they'll do that when there's a running back that hasn't released on a route, and they bring that late blitz. And it's tough for the linemen to identify that late blitzer. So Campbell was able to get home, force Martinez to throw early.
And I think we got a false start. Martinez is only second incompletion of the day.
False start. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that one's on Ethan Piper.
See Piper just try and pull out there a little bit early. And this is what has hurt this Nebraska team so many times this year. Untimely penalties, untimely turnovers. Have to be careful in a 3rd and long situation like this.
3rd and 15. Here comes pressure. He escapes Martinez. But now hit. Zach Van Valkenburg.
And it was Campbell again on the initial pressure. Adrian Martinez does a nice job sidestepping him initially, eluding the rush. But nobody open downfield. Nope, he had Austin Allen in that spot between the corner and the safety. Just because of the pressure, it's easy for us to look at that from up here in the booth and said he should have been able to get there. But with that pressure that he was trying to elude and the way that he had to escape, didn't have vision down that on that route.
6-point lead for the Hawkeyes. Fox College Football is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. 5:30 left in this game, 6-point lead for the Hawkeyes, and they've got the football, and it seems as if Tyler Goodson is getting stronger, knocking on the door of 100 yards rushing. He's got 93. He's run it 13 times for 69 yards here in the second half. Just 7 away from an 100. 2 tight ends, Goodson. Ben Stilley met him. That's a good 5 yards he picked up. Now just a couple away from 100 yards. He had 20 carries, 78 yards last week in the touchdown against Penn State.
Credit Brian Ferentz, the offensive coordinator, and this offensive line, more importantly. Those guys up front have done an excellent job. They wanted to stay patient. They wanted to come out and be more physical in this second half. That's exactly what they've done.
Goodson again, cuts back. Bounces off a Cornhusker. And he's got a first down. Brought down at the 46. 6-yard pickup.
Nice physical run on the cutback. You can see right there. Gets vertical, absorbs a hit from Markel Dismuke, keeps his leg churning, gets the first down.
Under 5 minutes. Goodson again, but Dismuke wins the battle this time.
Talk about the importance of safety play so many times in the run game when you've got these multiple tight end sets or you've got a fullback. Dismuke has done a nice job getting down and inserting himself into the box and making plays. Just bleeding clock here too.
This time Petrus going to pass. And it was complete. Laporta across midfield. Another first down. They'll move the sticks.
These are the opportunities you get. You have these multiple tight end sets and you draw up the defenders. You see the linebackers, heavy flow. You get the boot action. Petrus does a nice job delivering a nice catchable ball to Laporta. Turns up, gets the first down.
15-yard pickup. Under 3 minutes now. So Hawkeyes go with power football. At what point do you start thinking about using timeouts, Robert?
Well, you're thinking about it right now. Timeouts.
Nebraska.
You're thinking about using timeouts very soon right here. You can see Scott Frost looking up at the clock. And if you can't stop him, you can't bow up and stop this run game, you get another first down here. Not going to matter how many timeouts you have left.
This is 2nd and 7. Goodson again. Talking about the legs churning.
Yeah, there's that first down, or excuse me, that first timeout right there. try and get the stop.
Two minutes left in this one. 6-point lead for the Hawkeyes. You know, there's millions of kids nationwide, no activity to play sports because of COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports, Good Sports, are restoring play for kids and programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text play to the number right there on your screen. This could be the play of the game. 3rd and 3.
With the timeout situation, and if they can get a first down right here.
I formation. Goodson, left side, net at the line of scrimmage. So Nebraska bows up. Markel Dismute comes up. And Nebraska calls the timeout.
Nebraska, their second. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, you know, Eric Chenander told us, hey, them guys in the secondary, they're going to have to come here and stick their face in there, make some plays. And Markel Dismute came in, stuck a shoulder in there and made a play.
Boy, diagnosing it early, turning himself into a heat-seeking missile. Just no concern at all for their safety sometimes. As defensive backs, look at him come flying in here, lowers the hat.
Yeah, he did.
And Honus helped finish it up. Looks like they're going to go for it here. See Petrus on the field.
If they were going to kick, it would be about a 50-yarder. Of course, with the win, you would have the win with you.
Yeah, you're always worried about those longer kicks, too, about getting the elevation, potential for a block. And of course, only being up 6, the potential for Nebraska to go score a winning touchdown with an extra point.
Here's 4th and 2.
I think they just try and draw them off here.
Yeah, so they try to draw him. So now, do you punt? Do you kick the field goal? What do you do?
This is a 30-second timeout.
Decisions. Yeah, the career long's 49. You got the win.
Yeah, but again, you're always concerned about that situation where you have the kick that comes out low and the potential for getting that block. I think you just go ahead and punt this. Try and pin him.
Keep in mind, he hit from 48 earlier in this quarter. Ryan Gersonde will be your holder. Austin Spiewak will be the long snapper. So Keith Duncan, Iowa's all-time career leader in field goal percentage, looking for a new career high from 50. Oh, hits the goalpost! And it's no good.
And that one did come out a little bit low. That kick that he made from 48, as you said, he could have made that one from well over 50. That one came out a little bit lower.
Wow. So Adrian Martinez.
One shorter to go, and now everything is 4-down territory, of course.
One timeout. And he's got to lead his troops. About 68 yards. That one's to Austin Allen. He's driven back.
They do a nice job keeping him in bounds on that one. Allen down.
Officials timeout, injured player on the offense.
We certainly hope that's not serious, and you can hear the few people we do have in the crowd booing, because that will stop the clock.
Well, they grab his legs and then get him up off the ground, and slam him down. There's no way really for him to protect himself as he's going to the ground here. You can see he extends and just,
oh my
he's got his neck bent back.
Keep in mind, Allen is 6'8".
Scary play right there, especially after what this team endured a week ago.
Yeah, with Colin
Miller and seeing him on the field. Just hope the best for Austin Allen, getting him turned over.
Yeah, he rolls over. Wiping some of that turf material from his face.
And a good sign right there. You see him sitting up, and they're going to help him off the field now.
So once the referee sets the ball, that's when the clock will start. Martinez steps up. He's got a first down.
First down, stop the clock, try and get up and clock this thing.
6 yards. 1 timeout. Martinez, he's got a man open over the middle. It's caught. Wan'Dale Robinson with the catch. Last 2 games of this series has gone down to the wire, and this one's another one.
A dangerous throw right there. Jack Kerner almost able to get underneath that one for the interception.
Oh, sacked as he was trying to throw it. Chauncey Golston makes the big play for the Hawkeyes. Zach Van Valkenburg comes up with the football.
Golston, big
First
play
down,
a week ago with
Iowa.
an interception. We're going to see him right here. Martinez never sees him. A little swim and rip. Move right there, getting the hands of Farniok down. Golston able to get a free shot on Martinez, knock that ball loose, and Van Valkenburg there to pick up the fumble.
Second turnover of the quarter. The muff punt, and now this been crucial part of this game, and it looks like Iowa is going to win their 6th straight against Nebraska in this Heroes Trophy series. They will win their 4th straight game. As Nebraska takes their last time out. And they also keep their streak intact of keeping now 20 opponents under 25 points, which will remain the longest active streak here in the FBS.
It's really an amazing stat in this era of high-powered offense. Testament to this Iowa staff. Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator. Seth Wallace, linebacker coach, assistant defensive coordinator. They do a tremendous job with that staff.
51st meeting between these two. First meeting came in 1891. Iowa will now have won 7 of the last 10 and 6 straight. We take a look at the Hawkeye schedule. They've got Illinois, Wisconsin, and of course they'll have to since the reshuffling there because of COVID, they'll have another appointment on the 19th. I tell you what, they play hard. Those Cornhuskers certainly played hard here. Totally different team than what we saw against Illinois. Kirk Ferentz now has 101 Big Ten victories. His Hawkeyes are victorious. Their 6th straight victory over Nebraska. 26-20, our final. For Robert Smith, I'm Brian Custer. Thanks for watching. Coming up after the break, we'll send you to LA for more college football coverage.